Denmark is recognized as having one of the most elite militaries in the world. With highly trained units that possess some pretty unique skill sets, their frequent training partners, the British SAS, deem them as a force to be reckoned with. Let's take a look at the three main branches that make up the formidable Danish Special Forces. Make sure to stick around to see the most unique unit of them all. But first up, the Jaeger Corps, translated in English to the Huntsman Corps. This is Denmark's elite land-based unit. They specialize in combat tactics such as counter-terrorism, parachuting, combat swimming, sabotage, reconnaissance, and more. These soldiers frequently train alongside the British SAS and have a global recognition as some of the most highly trained soldiers in the world. Established in 1961, the Jaeger Corps is modeled around the U.S. Ranger and British SAS schools. They are primarily used for long-range reconnaissance patrols and marksmanship, although they could also perform special combat roles such as sabotage and direct actions. Soldiers are kitted out with MP-53s, H&K G41 rifle, H&K 31E machine guns, and a Neuhausen pistol, which are lightweight and easily transportable, allowing the soldiers to move quickly and efficiently. But of course, selection to become a Jaeger is incredibly demanding. 3 pre-courses lasting over a week test strengths and weaknesses of the soldiers, including orienteering and swimming. This is followed by an 8-week patrol course with basic medical, demolition, and marksmanship training, and another 8-week-long selection course in close quarters battle and sniping. The candidates then undergo a 2-week parachute course and a 2-week combat swimming course. After the selection, the candidates receive a hunting bugle for their recognizable maroon beret. 1 year of satisfactory service and training earns the soldiers the Jaeger shoulder patch, symbolizing their origins as hunters and woodsmen. To maintain the Jaeger's expertise, similar global units are often called in to train with them, including the U.S. Navy SEALs and Delta Force, British SAS, and the 2nd unit on our list. The Danish Naval Special Forces Group, the Frogman Corps. Denmark founded the Frogman Corps even earlier than the Jaeger Corps in 1957. The unit was modeled after the British Special Boat Squadron, the SBS. The Frogman Corps' primary role is reconnaissance, but it's also tasked with assaulting enemy ships, sabotage of fixed installations, advanced force, and maritime anti-terrorism tasks. They must also undergo a rigorous selection process, featuring a combat swimmer course for 3 weeks, and others such as advanced scuba diving, rescue swimming, and survival skills. The basic Frogman course is 9 months. Each year, around 600 applicants start the course, and less than a dozen complete all 9 months. Since its creation in 1957, only 311 have completed training and become frogmen as of 2015. This aquatic force is often kitted out with USPs, MP5s, Remington 870s, SR-25 rifles, and TRG-42 sniper rifles. Both the Jaeger Corps and the Frogman Corps were involved in a task force called K-Bar, which assisted in Afghanistan in 2002. But the third and most unique unit of the Special Forces was not in the task force in Afghanistan. The Sirius Dog Sled Patrol, known colloquially as the Sirius Patrol, is a Danish naval unit specializing in Arctic patrol. In 1933, Denmark was granted sovereignty of Greenland, and the Sirius Patrol was created to protect North and East Greenland. It is the oldest of all the Danish Special Forces, established in 1941. The unit conducts long-range reconnaissance missions which are done exclusively by dog sled. Despite modern technology, this still remains the most efficient way of traversing the unforgiving terrain. Patrolling is usually done in pairs and can sometimes be for 4 months. Patrols are often without additional human contact, so you'd better get on well with your partner. These patrols can also be in times of the year where the sun barely crosses the horizon, meaning prolonged darkness across the Arctic wilderness. The Sirius Dog Sled Patrol consists of 6 dog sled teams for the duration of the year, each consisting of 2 men and 11 to 15 dogs. When traveling, each team carries approximately 500 kilograms or 1,100 pounds, depending on the distance to the next depot. They use more than 50 depot huts scattered across the patrolled area. The depot huts are resupplied by small boats in the southern area and by aircraft in the northern part. The candidates must undergo a 5-week survival course in Greenland, along with other necessary skills such as shooting, mechanics, sewing, extended first aid, and radio communications. After selection, the successful candidates have as little as 2 weeks before they begin their patrols for 26 consecutive months in Greenland. The team uses weapons that are suited to the conditions of travel and use. These include the M1917 Enfield 30-06 Springfield rifles and Glock 20 10mm auto pistols. While the patrolmen mainly use the standard M2 armor-piercing rounds, they are also allowed some prohibited ammunition. They are uniquely allowed to use hollow-point civilian rounds, loaded with a type of expanding bullet prohibited in warfare for Danish and many other armed forces by the Hague Convention of 1899. They use these rounds not against human targets, but to defend themselves against a different type of enemy, dangerous wild animals. The patrolmen feel that the M2 armor-piercing round is best against aggressive polar bears at long range, but also that the hollow-point civilian rounds are better against an enraged muskox. Typically, the patrolmen arrange their magazines so every third round is a hollow point. The swap from SIG P210 pistol to a Glock 20 was made for similar reasons. The SIG was not effective enough against polar bears, and so more defense was needed. Other than patrolling and protecting Denmark's sovereignty, the Sirius Patrol also assists the Canadian Defence Forces in Arctic operations. So from land, sea, or ice, Denmark has some of the most specialized and mentally toughened special forces recognized across the globe. Thanks for watching. Sergeant Rooster, over and out.